So in the past few days, a somewhat new UFO video has been going viral on Twitter, on all the social media platforms like Reddit. And I want to talk about it, explain it, potentially debunk it towards the end of this video. Let's look at the video first, then we look at some of the comments that people have and their observations, and then we try to make sense of it. Now, this was posted in the Alien subreddit 3 days ago, and it has since then accumulated more than 5,000 upvotes. The video is titled "Video Showing an Extremely Close-Up View of a Disc/Saucer UFO. The surface of the craft perfectly matches the description in the Immaculate Constellation document. Dynamic, roiling like the surface of the sun with intense luminosity." Okay, so this video was filmed in Belgrade in Serbia, April 28th, 2020. So the video itself is not new, it's from 2020, but still, it's an interesting clip. I hadn't seen it before. I want to play it for you guys. Before we do that though, please don't forget to smash the like button. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, there's loads of swearing in this. Okay, so I will have to mute the audio here and there. That little boy has a foul mouth, whoever he is. Let's take a look.
What the f? Oh my god! What the f? Tata!
Oh.
Tata! Снимай. Moraš se telefon.
Gdje sam, gdje?
Eno ga. What the f? Nestalo?
Nestao?
Eno ga, eto.
Ne. Šta se dešava?
What the f? Oh my god!
The kid is losing it, bro. The kid is going crazy.
Ali vidi se ovako.
Kako je brz?
What the fuck? Stavi na internet, tata. Majke ti. Otišlo, tata. Vidi koliko brzo. Tata.
Kako nisam brže vidio?
Otišlo, nema ga, gotovo.
Ja ti kažem da nesi kameru, ti spraviš pametan.
Pa doneo sam.
And that's it. So as you saw in the beginning, he zooms in close into the object and we get like this almost diamond-shaped version of the craft that, as he describes it, or as the title describes it, is roiling like the surface of the sun. And indeed, as it is mentioned in the title, that is mentioned in the Immaculate Constellation documents. So the section is right here. The surface of the UAP was observed to be dynamic, roiling like the surface of the sun. The UAP took no reported actions during the encounter, blah, blah, blah. So I love this because they're like, yeah, here's something that somewhat looks like the surface of the sun in this video. Immaculate Constellation. It all makes sense now. It all links back to this one bigger thing. Jeremy Corbell was right. No. All this is in this video, it shows like a texture. Yes, that is somewhat similar to the surface of the sun, but that doesn't mean that it's the same thing as mentioned there. And, you know, there are just loads of logical hoops that people are jumping through here. Anyway, let's read some of the comments because, for example, I hope to find some comments where people explain what they're actually saying. I don't speak Serbian. Is that a language, or do they speak? I don't even know what language is spoken in Serbia. Serbian. Okay. Who would have thought? But from the first look at the comments, I can't really find anyone who gives a translation. I'm particularly interested in what the father says, right? I mean, the kid just screams WTF, but the father seems awfully calm. I don't know if you noticed this, right? The father is not freaking out at all. He's like, yeah, whatever. So I would love to know what he says, but apparently there are no comments that translate it. But let's read some of the comments anyway, because UFO community comments are always a treat. Let's see what people have to say. Boy, that S is wild. Biblically accurate wild. S. We are really living in some enlightened times. It's mainly frightening, but awe-inspiring, all in the same breath. They're about to flood us again. We still can't get along, and they're gonna be upset. It's like, wait, stop. Let's take like 6 steps back. Where did we just go with this? Like, what is biblical about this? I'm not gonna lie. I love it when people draw these conclusions from like, oh, there's like a slightly unexplained light in the sky to, it was in Jesus Christ's prophecy in this book they wrote 2,000 years ago. And it's again like, oh God, can we make a bigger logical hoop that we jump through? And I understand, I mean, a lot of people are deep down in the religious tunnel these days, and this is what they want to see, so there it is. But to be honest with you, more than anything, this is concerning, right? To have a view on it like this, in my personal opinion, it's concerning. Because if you draw that conclusion, you're ready to draw other conclusions, and it's not going into good places, in my personal opinion. There's been credible reports of this type of UAP. Very interesting video. The same UAP was also recorded outside an airplane window. Here's the video, let's take a look. Okay, yeah. obviously that's the exact same thing recorded from an airplane window. So to this one, just real quick, usually what this is, it's not an object in the sky at all. It is a ground-based. If it moves this way and it's filmed from an airplane, it's something that's located on the ground. Like look at this image, for example. This is when you approach Las Vegas, and this is the Crescent Dunes Solar Energy Project. It's like a huge, in this case, circular arrangement of solar panels, and in the right angle, it reflects exactly this kind of diamond shape. And there are other projects, I think, in the desert of in and around Nevada anyway, like similar projects where they have like rectangular fields of solar panels. I remember I covered it in another video, and it looks exactly like this, right? If the lights are on in this facility at night, you know what I mean? This is like a rectangular field, like basically a big squared patch or something on the ground, and as you fly past it, that's just how it looks. But of course, it's the exact same object, guys. This has to be the exact same object. Logic switched off. This is scary AF, actually. More so than any other footage. Guys, this is so scary AF. Holy shit, man. I mean, they're here. Lots of people saying that they saw a similar thing, you know, in California a few months ago. There's so many comments of people like, yeah, I saw the same thing over the coast of Florida a while back. The best UFO footage we can get on this sub comes from a child yelling, WTF. Brilliant. LOL. This, guys, this is the best UFO footage we had on this sub in a long time. It's just an interdimensional anti-gravity light-speed traveling aircraft. No big deal. I see this here all the time in Gary, Indiana. Guys, this is pretty normal. Let's be honest, man. I see these interdimensional craft all the time. So going through these comments, I'm honestly not sure whether I ended up in like a mental health support subreddit or whether this is actually still about UFOs. But let's analyze the footage. Someone was kind enough to create a somewhat stabilized version of this film. It's not really stabilized, but it does give us a good and slightly closer look at like the core moment of this footage. So first of all, the most obvious thing, okay? This part that we're seeing here, this diamond-shaped craft, is basically just an object that is out of focus. Because in the beginning of the video, you can actually see that the object is somewhat round, and only when he zooms into it, it suddenly takes on this diamond shape. Now think towards the end of it, you can also see that it is actually more roundish. You know, it does not have that diamond shape as a native shape, for lack of a better word. And the reason why you get this diamond shape is because of the 4 blades of a simple aperture mechanism. Okay, some cameras just work that way. They have an aperture that looks a little bit like this. You can see it here. And if you zoom in far enough, you get an effect like this, right? It's a reflection of the aperture that's in your camera. Hence, you get these diamond shapes. Here you have loads of light, so you see loads of diamonds. But in this particular example, you just see one. There's one light in the sky. He's zooming in. He sees the diamond shape. So the shape of it is not diamond shape, okay? This is not a solid shape. This is just a way out of focus recording of it that looks like it's diamond shape. It is probably more roundish. And funny enough, I found another example, which is this one, of someone filming an object in the sky, also in Serbia, also in 2020. But check this out, right? Look at it. Hold on, for a brief second, you can always see the actual object, right? So I don't know what that is. It looks to me like some kind of birthday balloon, you know, with this reddish shimmer, but who knows what it is. But you see, as this person zooms into the object, it flares up into the exact same diamond shape that we see in the other video. It is exactly the same effect. That's what you get. And to be honest with you, we've seen it countless times again, that there is an object and people are just very bad at operating cameras. And that's how you end up with footage like this, where you see a diamond-shaped object in the sky. So the object is not diamond-shaped. This is basically an optical illusion caused by the camera and the lens. Now, what about the roiling effect? It has been mentioned in the prophecies of Jesus Christ and the Immaculate Constellation. Well, to be honest, the roiling effect is similar to what you see when you have too much water in your eyes, right? It's like a layer over that blurred out footage, and you see all sorts of wild patterns and effects. Basically, the water is acting like a way out of focus lens on top of the lens that you already have. So I think that's what it is. As he zooms in here, it is moist either in the air or on the lens. Anyway, something that's between the object and the camera that causes this roiling effect, right? Because you have to think about it this way. If this would be an object that is as hot as the sun, right? It has like, it's a glowing ball of fire. It's like, try to film the sun with your camera, with your mobile phone. Zoom into the sun. You're not able to capture this roiling effect with anything, even with like a professional telescope. You need like filters that have to go in front of it in order to capture the sun in these shades of orange, right? And the movement of the surface of the sun. You won't capture that with your mobile phone camera. And when it comes to the little indentation in the bottom right-hand side here, those people in the comments are actually starting to claim that they see aliens in this. Like, did you see on the right-hand side? You can make out a person or some shape of an alien and it's a cockpit. And it's like, oh God. Anyway, I think this is basically caused by another object being in front of it. Like, I don't know, maybe a branch of a tree. It could be in the object itself. Maybe the object itself has some kind of indentation if it is a certain type of balloon, for example. And we get to a conclusion later on what I think it is. But like the shape of the object itself can cause this little indentation here on the right-hand side as well. Keep in mind, this is heavily artifacted and stretched, and this in no shape or form reflects what the actual object looks like. So to say there's like this indentation here is already absurd because you're interpreting like a shape that has nothing to do with what we see here. And to be honest with you, that occurred to me pretty quickly. When I watched the original footage and I saw this, I was kind of waiting for the camera to focus to see how the object actually looks. But it doesn't really focus. Only when he zooms out, then you kind of get a rough idea and you see that it's more like a small fire-colored ball, right? Like, I'm not saying it's not fire. It has the color of fire. But also notice how it really fades out. Like you saw just 2 seconds ago or something. It was really bright, like burning up really, really bright in the sky. And now towards the end, it almost disappears, right? The object is barely visible at this point. And you can see with that, obviously, this diamond shape disappears as well. It is still somewhat visible up here, but it seems to flicker. Right, there's a bit of a flicker in this object where it sometimes, like now, it flares up, becomes slightly brighter, then it fades out and it's barely visible. Also, we can't really make out how it's moving. I can see there are some blurred objects here, like some branches or something of trees in the front, which, by the way, could be responsible for this indentation. Some of these branches blurred out could have been reaching into the object, and that's how you get that little indentation I spoke about a second ago. But even based on these branches here, we can't really make out whether it's moving quick, fast, because if you move the camera up and down, that will give you the illusion of the object moving around. It's parallax effect, so we can't really tell whether it moves fast. But what we can tell is that, at least towards the end of the film, it's really, really far away. Because look, he's zooming out, right? The object was here, you saw it. Little red dot, he's zooming out, zooming out, zooming out really far. So it is far in the distance, but we can't really make out how far it actually moves because, again, the light flickers and comes on and off and changes its intensity. The other point I briefly mentioned earlier already that makes me suspicious of this is like the reaction of the father. Because if the kid is freaking out, the kid's like, oh my God, WTF, what the? And the father's like, what? Like, if you would see, even as an adult, like an object you can't explain that's totally out of this world the way it behaves and looks in the sky, you wouldn't react like him. I mean, let's listen to this one more time and just pay a little bit attention. We're not listening to the whole thing, but part of it. Pay attention to the reaction of the father.
Oh my God! What the fuck? Tata! Tata!
What? What is it? I'm drinking beer.
Sнимай.
He's probably not drinking beer. Sorry, I didn't mean to judge him like that.
Gdje sad, gdje?
Eno ga. What the fuck, nestalo?
Nestao?
Eno ga, eto.
So the father is barely rattled by this, right? He's like, yeah, what? Oh, okay, I guess. So what is it? What are we actually looking at here? There's 2 theories that I have. Initially, I thought it's probably a Chinese lantern, right? It's a Chinese lantern. The way it flickers, it has the color of fire. All that falls in line. You know, the flame gets slightly bigger and then it fades almost off. That's like Chinese lantern stuff. And then again, you zoom into it and it flares up at that moment. You will get this bright diamond-shaped object. So that's pretty much in line. But there's something else I noticed, okay? And I'm curious to hear what other people, maybe in Serbia, have to think about this. Because listen to the audio in the background.
What the f? Oh my God! What the f? Tata! Tata!
Do you hear this? There's whistling, there's chanting. People are what sounds like hitting pots or drums or something like that. And to me, that sounds like maybe there's a sports event or something going on. Maybe there's a football stadium, like a football soccer game taking place or something with a drone flying overhead. So this could absolutely also just be a drone that has lights on it. They do this all the time, you know, over football stadiums. That's what I think it is. It's either a Chinese lantern that's pushed around in the wind and then fades out, or it's a drone over a football stadium. Again, I'll link this clip down in the description. You can check it out yourself. There are a few more audio hints in the audio of this file, so you can check it out. It really sounds like there's a football stadium or something in the near distance. Not a huge one, not like 70,000 people, but a smaller football match. Everyone, has drones these days. It's pretty common. Many people own them. So it's totally possible that that's what it is as well. I just love how, once again, the Reddit UFO and alien communities are freaking out. This is the best video of all time. It is absolutely unexplainable. It's been seen in Jesus Christ's biblical prophecy, and the Immaculate Constellation has also foreseen it. It all makes sense. The puzzle pieces are falling into place when it's probably absolutely nothing, guys. But that's just my opinion. Okay, that's what I think it is. I'm not going to give it the debunk stamp because it's a theory. I don't have anything concrete to back this up, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this as well. Do you think I'm correct? Do you think what I'm saying makes sense, or do you completely disagree? Do you think this is revolutionary footage and basically the smoking gun, aliens are here? Leave any of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Guys, if you're watching this, please also subscribe to my gaming channel. We need more subscribers. I launched that not long ago. The link to that is in the description. We have a Discord server with a lovely community. Okay, loads of people hanging out there, like-minded people. You can discuss this footage, share clips with me. I always appreciate that. Also, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out. I hope to see you in another video. Take care of yourselves. And I'm out. Bye.